All right, guys, so we're going to jump straight into the initial contact, picking up with the guided questions that we use on the phone. Now, over the time where STCfit was in face-to-face environment in the gyms with big teams of up to 15 trainers at a time, we used the phone as our number one port of call to recruit new business. We had trainers go from 0 all the way up to 42 sessions in 12 weeks and even less, and a lot of trainers around that 30, 35, and 40 session mark that actually applied this model consistently over time. So with that being said, this is the exact script that we gave those guys. It's the exact script that they use on the phone, and it's the exact same script that you can use when you're walking the floor and talking to prospects out in the gym as well. Just efficiency wise, it works a little bit easier if you can dial 100 numbers than trying to talk to 100 people on the gym floor that are all new. So keep in mind, they're guided questions. It's not a script. It allows you to manipulate and change and go in different directions based on the answers of the person that's in front of you. So really important to remember when you go into this stuff, sales is all about creating buy-in. Buy-in comes off the back of someone who trusts you and who likes you. We're in a personal industry where we actually have to spend time with these people quite a bit. So it's really important that you actually get along. So picking up the phone, what I always like to think about and what should be going through your head when you do this is, how do I best help the person on the other end of this line? What do they need? How do I identify the problems they have? And then how can I help solve them for them? So this is what a normal call might go like. So, hey, it's Ben here from STCfit, just touching base to see how your training's been going. Oh, it's okay. Now, there's two things to consider here. A lot of the gym scripts that they'll give you will be like, here's people that haven't been to the gym for the last 4 weeks. The script says, hey, just noticed you haven't been in the gym for the last 4 weeks. I don't think that that's the best way to go about building trust with someone, is calling them and almost telling them off like, hey, you haven't been to the gym, and making them feel like shit off the bat. Instead, give them an opportunity to open up. If they don't, which is going to be likely, it's much easier to just say, oh, it's been good, than actually unpack what's really been going on. And that's where your follow-up questions come in. So just touching base to see how your training's been going. Oh, yeah, it's been fine. Okay, cool. So how often are you actually getting into the club? Maybe like once a week. Oh, okay. So it says here that you haven't actually shown up on our scan system. Have you been scanning in those times? Oh, actually, no, I haven't. Or no, it's been a few weeks since I've been in, but usually it's once a week. Okay, cool. You start to get a picture of where this person's at. And that's great because it makes them identify the fact that they actually haven't been as consistent, maybe even as perceptually they think they are. They think they're doing fine, but it's like, oh shit, I actually haven't been for 4 weeks. That happened real quick. What time do you come in when you do make it down to the gym? The reason why we asked will become clear a little bit later. Usually it's around 6:30. I go home, eat, and then come in. Okay, and what's your goal with your training at the moment? First before that is nice. What do you normally do when you're here? I usually like just jump on the Stairmaster, do some cardio, and then like a little bit of the machine weights and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Is that just something that like you were shown, what you're comfortable with, or like why have you chosen those? Again, that question's not in the script, but it's easier to flow with that conversation to unpack stuff a little bit more. Create a bit of a relationship, again, depending on the feedback you're getting from the person on the other end of the line as well. If they're in a rush, maybe don't unpack that sort of stuff. All right, cool. And what was your goal with that? I just need to lose a little bit of weight, tone up, all those common answers that you're going to get. Okay, cool. And how have you found your results? Like with the Stairmaster and the pin-loaded machines and all that kind of stuff, have you found you've been getting results with that so far? Oh, yeah, it's okay. I'm probably not as consistent as I need to be. Yeah, I totally understand. And I guess like it sounds like you're not totally clear on what you need to do either, which always makes it a little bit more difficult, right? Yeah, definitely. So a little bit in there to just show that you understand how the client feels is also very important. Obviously, this is a guided question list. It's not the script. You can just skip to the next question when it comes up. Be a person. Help someone that's in front of you. Okay, great. So I'm doing start again. So the reason for my call, I'm actually doing a free consultation at the moment, free training consultations at the moment, where we can go through those goals and make sure you're on the right track with your approach. I'm just going to do that again because I stumbled on it. Okay, so the reason for my call is I'm actually doing some training consultations at the moment for free, where we can go over those goals you have and just make sure that you're taking the right approach, maybe make training a little bit more enticing for you to be a little bit more consistent. You mentioned 6:30 works for you. I've actually got that available on Tuesday or Thursday night. Which one of those would work better for you? So hopefully you're going to, again, you've created this path of least resistance that we talk about a lot, where they can choose from one or two options that suits them best, but they get to make that choice. So that choice, hopefully it's Tuesday. Awesome. If anything changes, just text me on this number and let me know rather than calling the gym. I don't actually work for the gym, just makes things a little bit easier. So I'll be able to get in touch and just rebook if we need to. Is that all good? Yep. Awesome. Great. I'll just meet you at reception at 6:30. And the first session, we're actually just going to have a chat about what's been going on, what your approach is, and what you're a little bit more about those goals that you mentioned. Sound good? Awesome. Ben, sounds great. Awesome. All right, Dave, have a great day. I'll see you on Thursday. So that's slightly one variation, and not always going to be that smooth. You're going to trip up the way that I did. It's going to make mistakes. Sometimes you'll ask questions out of order. It doesn't matter. The person on the other end doesn't know the script that you've got in front of you, so the guided questions that you have in front of you. They're just looking for help. They're hoping that you're able to solve the problems that they have, or maybe you are in the position where you're actually going to make people aware of the problems that they have right now. Hopefully that helps. As always, use the Facebook group if you have any questions or you're running into any issues with this stuff. Understand that a good ratio for these is if you're booking at about 50% on the phone, you're doing great. So generally speaking, 20 to 25% of people will answer. Of those 20 to 25% of people, you will book 50%. And then about 75% of those will actually show up to the consultation, depending on your structure on the way through. So that's really important to note, that you're going to have to do a lot of this. You're going to get a lot of no's, and you're going to be okay with that, and just keep on plodding through. Those guys that got to those 45 sessions in 12 weeks didn't do it by nailing every single one. They were just more consistent. They practiced more and they got good at it. Cool. All right, we're going to jump into how to get those call lists next.